Hi, I'm Cliff. Thanks for coming to my channel. If you have been on my channel, you might have noticed that my first couple of videos were the unboxing of a Harbor Freight 7 by 10 inch lathe, and I had some issues with that lathe. I actually took it back to Harbor Freight, and after I took it back to Harbor Freight, I decided go big or go home, and so I had some funds that kind of freed up at that point in time. I had some things that I sold, and long story short, I decided to upgrade to a 9x20 lathe, which if you look over my shoulder right here, you can probably see that sitting on a pallet back there. I'm not going to do a true unboxing of that because I actually had to break the crate open as soon as I got it home because UPS had driven a forklift fork through the side of the crate, which everything was fine. It wasn't broken, nothing was scratched up, or nothing didn't break it or mess it up at all. So there's going to be some videos coming up about that. I don't know if I want to break that up into several videos or just do one long video of me going through, cleaning it up, and then showing the basic features on that. Probably. I don't know yet. Right now, this video, as you'll see in the title, bringing home a Bridgeport, that's exactly what I did. I had also, at the same time that I purchased the lathe and I was waiting on that to be shipped to me from UPS, I went and purchased a Bridgeport J-head mill from a gentleman that wasn't too far from me, and I got it at a really good price. I got it for $900. And you can't beat that. It does have some issues, and actually it got more issues when I brought it home. The people unloading it actually tipped it over and busted the front handle and bent the cross feed screw for the Y-axis going straight into it. So it was a very unfortunate accident, but it's okay. Life goes on. It's still a good mill. It's a good machine. These things are built to last for years, and this video is going to be, this next few videos are going to be about me repairing that lead screw. Hopefully I've got an idea of how I might fix that, and basically putting it back together, because the way I got it into my shop, I have a concrete porch, and they were rolling it off the back of the truck onto the porch, so it's kind of like a loading dock type deal is how I was using my front porch. But that's where they flipped it over. Kind of one of the wheels of the carts that it was on got jammed and it flipped forward, but it was sitting on my porch there for a while, and I used the shop crane here to stand it back up, and it was kind of expedient for me to have to remove some parts. I removed the head, I removed the table, and I removed there's a motor for automatic feed that's attached to the table to the X-axis. I had to remove all that to reduce the weight, because my neighbor came over with his tractor and picked it up off my porch and brought it in here to the shop and sat it down. So I had to expedite that process of taking off the table and the head and whatnot, so I wasn't able to film that because I was in a hurry. You are going to see me put it all back together. I have plans to do a full restoration on this Bridgeport mill. I'm going to strip the ugly paint off of it. The gentleman I bought it from, he didn't know who did it, but I'm pretty sure the factory that first originally purchased it painted it blue, because it's blue, it's ugly. I'll show it to you here in a second. And I'm going to strip all the paint off and strip it down to bare bones, and I want to get this mill looking good again. I hope to make it look real good. This is my first mill. This is my first big piece of machinery. I'm very excited about it, and this is the first step in the right direction of having my own machine shop. You know, that's my goal, is to one day be making money doing this. I used to do some machine rigging and moving and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that. That's not the kind of business I want to have. I want to be the guy making chips and doing one-off prototypes and stuff like that. and just learning how to use my mind and whatnot. I want to bring you guys along for that journey. I see a lot of people on YouTube doing great videos and sharing that creativeness, and that's what I want to do. I just want to share my creativity with all of you. And so, without further ado, I'm going to pick up the camera, and I think I'll give you a sneak peek at the Grizzly, and I'll show you the Bridgeport. So, let's see here. Pardon the wobbliness. Alright, so we're going to zoom out. Alright, here we go. Here's the Bridgeport. Not much to say about it. If you're watching this, you probably know what a Bridgeport J-head mill is. If not, I will be more, posting in the comments, and I'll try to come up with some material and show you all exactly what that is. This did not break off. I had actually I had started removing this, and I was let me move the tripod here. My neighbor just left a little bit ago. I just got in here and sat down and finally got to working on this thing. But this is the part of the screw. This is the part that got bent. And I've placed a dial indicator on here and ran it around and found out that this right here where I put this yellow paint mark, I put another one back here too, and they do line up. That's where the runout is, so it's bent that way. So my idea to fix this, since the lead screw is not busted, well, I don't know if it's busted or not, I'm going to pull out the lead screw. I'm going to pull this screw out and check for any further damage, and if there isn't any further damage, I'm going to try to put some heat on this thing, put it in a clamp, and straighten it out the best I can. A new screw costs about $150 depending on where you get it, and there's only been 2 places I've been able to find it, and they're $150, $140. But anyways, this part did not break. This part is actually I started taking that off, and I got thinking, oh hey, I need to make a YouTube video about this. So I stopped and grabbed the camera. Okay, sorry about that. Had to go take care of something, but do a little bit of a walk around. Like I said, it's a ugly blue. Ugly blue. And it's got chips and dings in it. This is the original power supply, I'm assuming. This wasn't the gentleman that sold it to me. He did not have this hooked up. He actually had power coming in here, and then through there, and then there's a power line that went up here. Let's go ahead and walk in here. The power cord went up to the head. Oh boy! Don't mind my shop, guys. It's a mess. Got a bunch of camping gear in here right now. Alright, here's the head. And it seems to be, it's in great condition. The head didn't strike when it fell over, and I was happy about that. But it is missing, like, well, actually, there's a crank wheel that goes on here. I'm going to buy another one of those. There's this piece where the crank wheel goes on. I'm touching right here. That's $23. But anyways, there's the power switch that broke off the side. You see where it was mounted there. I might try to make another mounting bracket, but there's a power line that came down. Here's this table feed and the lead screw that it's attached to. That's the 4-jaw chuck that came with the Grizzly. It had this lamp. The Bridgeport had this lamp mounted to it. Excuse me. I'm going to try to reattach that. I think that was pretty cool looking. I kind of like the older, old-fashioned look. Here's the table. Ooh, boy. You want to talk about heavy. Heavy. Oops. 250 pounds at least. At least 250 pounds. So, there that is. Alright, let's come over here and take a peek at the G4000 from Grizzly. Let me just go ahead and do like a little dun 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 dun, dun unboxing. There we go. Okay, there we go. We just unboxed it. Alright, here's an overall look at it. Alright, I was expecting this thing to come from Grizzly, and I thought it would be green, and then the pictures were all white, and so I thought it was going to be white, but it's actually kind of like a, I don't know if the light's picking that up very well. There we go, that's better. It's kind of like a khaki color. I don't know if I like that, but oh well, life goes on. Change gears. All I've done with this so far is I've plugged it in, ran it forward, ran it backwards to make sure it was running properly and not making any funny noises. It comes standard with a 3-jaw chuck, a 7.5 inch, whoa. Sorry about that, bumped the zoom. It comes standard with a 3-jaw chuck, a 7.5 inch 4-jaw chuck, a 7.5 inch faceplate, a turret tool post, a C-type tool post, a follow rest and a steady rest, some other tooling. The pictures for it on their website show like this like really nice red metal toolbox. Let's go over here and this right here is actually what they give you. Like a cheap dollar store plastic toolbox and screwdrivers, obviously made in China. Looks like might be made out of like a nail and a bottle cork by some poor little boy with bare feet wearing a burlap sack in a hut with a dirt floor. I mean, it's Chinese. I put it all in this Ziploc bag to keep it all together. It comes with a couple steady rests. This is our steady dead center steady rest. What am I saying? Dead centers, an oiling bottle, a live center. So, look at all this chaos. I know, I gotta clean this up. Alright, here's another thing. These end mills and such, these came, the gentleman that sold me the Bridgeport gave me those. So that was pretty cool. He wasn't really, in his own words, he said he was using it as a glorified drill press. And so he wasn't really into machining. He was just into fixing old cars, and I don't know why he bought it, but that's his story. This is my Harbor Freight 2-ton crane, and let me tell you what. After them guys flipped over my Bridgeport mill, I went out and bought that 2-ton crane, shop crane. I got it for $150 with the there's a 25% off coupon for Christmas, and this is already down to $199, so I got it for $150. And I'll tell you what, to date, so far this year, that is one of the best $100 bills I've spent. Because this thing was laying on its side, I was panicking, I was freaking out, I was upset, I was frustrated, and I wanted to get to work on it. And plus, like, every time you touched it, it seemed like it wanted to shift and move. And it just scared me. You know, I got the dog running around here, and I couldn't let my boy outside to play, and I got my parents that come in and out, and I was just, well, here, I'll go ahead and show you. Let's see. That little lawnmower is on the toy lawnmower. That's where it was laying. Right there next to the edge of the porch where that pink and white house is. Toy house. And I was just very, very, very nervous, and so I went out and bought that shop crane and rigged and a couple of 6,000-pound straps, 6,400-pound straps. Put the straps around the top and started cranking it up, and I'll tell you what, it got to the point where, let's see if I can do it like this. Alright, here's the mill standing upright. If you can imagine, the mill was kind of tilted like that. If the camera's at the bottom of the picture was parallel to the ground, then it was kind of tilting like that. And you would think with it being, you would think it's bottom heavy, and so it would want to tip. No, it did not want to go. And I'll tell you what, I was sweating. I was afraid I was going to drop it back over again. And I just kind of walked up here and grabbed a hold of that motor that was on the end of the table. I had the table extended all the way out. Just kind of put my foot on there and just kind of did this number. And had to bounce a couple times, and boom, it flipped upright and landed on its base and kind of kicked the crane out at an angle and stood up, and I was happy. And that's when I took that crane and just started moving pieces, tables and heads and etc. So I don't want to make this long and drug out. Right now, to sum up the video, we're going to be cleaning up the Grizzly lathe in there. We're going to be cleaning up the Bridgeport mill, and we're going to be doing some repairs. This right here, this is the knee crank. This didn't get scuffed up too bad, but it did bend a little bit. It does have some run out, but I'm not too particularly worried. Oh yeah, and the dial. See, here's this dial right here. The dial for this right here did get busted, so I've got to order one of those right away. So the plan with this right now is what I want to do is I'm going to unscrew this lead screw, pull it out, and then check, and I can see right now how much it's kind of been out there, and see what I can do about straightening it out. If I can just get this straightened out to where it's almost perfect, I'll be happy with that, because I can still get a dial on there and it'll still work. And so that's the plan. Get this screw out of here, see if there's any more damage, and continue cleaning it out. And once I get the screw out, I'll come back and show you guys what's going on. Alright, thanks for watching.